Well, hey guys, Larry here, and we're at the Ferry House. So, I have made the adventure, something like that, from Marquette to the house here, and I had a pretty big load. I'll show you guys a picture of that right now, and that was my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. Who went with me. He's here. My sister and him are here, and they travel across the country in this here RV. And they came here for the wedding. The wedding went really well. It was a great time. We did Friday. We did like a whole activities leading up to it, instead of like a bachelor and bachelorette parties and all that stuff and everything going out, because I don't drink. I used to. And I don't see anything wrong with drinking and stuff. I have just decided that I'm not going to do it anymore. My wife, she still does have, she'll have a drink here and there socially when she's out or something. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't do it anymore. I decided I wasn't going to do it. Never had a problem or something, I want to say. But I don't do it. So we kind of did some other activities. And we did... Friday we did this bowling thing at the mine shaft up here, and they got our games, and we had pizza party and stuff, and just we all hung out. And then we were going to go to this place up here that plays live music and everything. We were like, it's so loud, we won't be able to hear each other and everything. And we kind of came up with a different idea. There's a place up here called Loriem Manor, and we had this I came up with, me and the wife, we came up with this whole thing, and we made a murder mystery, just like a clue game. Colonel Mustard, other things like that. Well, Michelle wanted to do people who have historically been here. So some people that have been here, well, number one is Theodore Roosevelt. He was what, the 22nd, 23rd? I think it was 22nd, 23rd president. He was a governor of New York. He ran, and his wife and his mother died on the same day mysteriously, and he ran away to the Dakotas and bought a ranch and lived out there until he was talked into coming back and being McKinley's running mate and became vice president. And soon after, McKinley also died. So there'd be a lot of people that died around Roosevelt. So he became president, and then Taft came in and had very conservative views, and he was not in agreement, tried running against him. 1912, he lost the election. He decided to run underneath a progressive Republican, and he split it, and in so he let the Democrats win the election. Yeah. I believe he died in 1919. So he visited this place here, he stayed here. His bedroom was on the next story down. It is the number one bedroom, it is a suite. It's pretty neat. I don't think anybody's staying in there. You got to look in there, right? Larry? And we all dressed up as characters of people who stayed in the Loriem Manor up here. It's the largest mansion up here in the UP. And back from the copper days and everything up here. And we played this murder mystery, and someone died, and we had to figure out who killed him, with what weapon, and what room. And it was a really fun time. We really had a good time. Wedding went well. The bride didn't run away, and we are officially married now. I'm officially a married man, and I couldn't be happier. She's just awesome. But yesterday I have had the order in, and we went over to the Marquette, me and my brother-in-law, and we went over there and picked it up. And as you saw from the picture, I picked up culverts and stuff. I made this little homemade rack on the back of my truck and everything. I used this when I hauled the roofing and the steel and plywood, all this stuff, and I had all this big load on there. And I just slapped that back together, and I was planning on putting a siding up there on top, but it's a pretty heavy box they had. It's quite a bit. And I was like, no, let's slide that in the truck. So I guess it's the big reveal. Is the color gonna match? Because I'm kind of unsure on this one, because they have stopped producing the color of steel, and the siding has changed and stuff since I bought the steel. And so it's a big guess. So let's take a look. All right, here we go. Oh, great. It's all in boxes, it looks like. Alright, I think I got enough to get one open. Maybe. I'm making you guys sick with the camera moving around. Guess we'll just cut this. Ooh, that's pretty close. I don't think I revealed it on camera. I revealed it to myself first. That thing's all strapped up pretty tight. As you can see the color there, it's pretty close. A little bit darker. So it's just a little bit darker, but it's close as I could get to matching this. And so, yeah. So I am actually going to just unload the siding today and get all this stuff unloaded out of my truck, because tonight I have to go play softball. I have to play softball. I've never played softball in my life. I have played, I'm trying to get out of the wind. So I have never played softball in my life. I have played baseball, like, I think like grade school or something like that. Never played in high school. It's never an interest to me. I went to one baseball game in my life and never really liked it a lot. So it's just never something I've done. And the church that I attend, Hope, they said, hey, we got a softball league, everybody sign up. And well, I was like, okay, I can try. And so I put my name on there, and they actually played last week, but I was way too busy with all the wedding stuff and everything. I was just going nuts. There was just no way I was going to be able to make it. So I sent a message, sorry, I can't make it this week, I'll make it next week. So tonight is the first night. I'm going to go and try to play softball. Not sure how the old back is going to do with the old swinging of the bat, but we're going to give it a try. So we'll see what happens. But I think what I'm going to do tonight, because it's cold too. It's like 42 degrees and it's really windy and just nasty. So I think I'm going to unload all this siding and everything, stack it all up in over here, so it's all ready to go and everything. And I think tomorrow I'll get back out here and start putting up all the trim. Because I got to do that first. I got to put all the trim up and everything else, and then the siding will go up on top of that. And that will finish the house off. And then I plan on doing the backyard here too. I got that nice dump truck now, so I'm gonna grab some dirt from out there in the property and bring it out here, dump it out here, and kind of level this all off and everything, and plant some nice grass back here. So that's the plan, and I'm gonna unload this thing, and then I'll probably catch you guys tomorrow installing the siding. All right, guys, I am back. Day number 2. I don't know if I call it day number 1. I only came out here for like an hour. But I unloaded everything, got everything piled, got all the siding piled up. I got all the trim here, all the boxes out. And first thing I got to do is start with the outside corner trim and inside corner trim. And I got to put J trimmer on everything. So I'll get working on that. Well, this is a corner piece of trim. I still have to get it level and everything to where it looks good. I got it looking like it's pretty square here. I just have one nail on each side, and that way I can still move it in and out. My sister, I forgot my level, so she ran back to my house, the other house, and getting my level. But this is a corner piece, and see the siding. There's a groove here, and the siding goes into that, and that's what keeps that in there and keeps things from going inside there, snow, rain, whatever. I need to put J trim all around these windows and on the bottom, and then there's an undersill piece of trim that goes in there, and then the starter trim goes on here too. That's what the piece of vinyl hooks to. So I got to do all these windows. I got to put J trim all the way up the peak up here, and then that the siding will go up into. And then I'm not sure if I'm gonna put J trim underneath there. I think I might, to kind of finish it off look and have undersill underneath it. Got J trim all these and everything. But then this here is an inside corner piece, and this goes on there. And you gotta get this level and stuff, put a couple nails, and this has a groove too. for the siding to go into like this, so that the siding can fit right in there. Still a windy day. We're supposed to get up to like 50 today, so a little bit better. So I just gotta keep working on trim, getting all the trim up, and then I can start popping siding on. Well, there's today's progress. My sister, husband, Larry. Yeah, there's two Larrys. We got this done. Wasn't a lot. A lot of trim messing around, and then the angle was it's really messed up. This house is not straight at all. All the windows are all goofy and everything. I need my other bigger ladder to get that measurement for that last piece up there. So I'm just gonna wait for tomorrow, because I'm gonna need a bigger ladder anyways to do the very peak ones. So I'll be back tomorrow. Well, there is one complete wall all the way down. It's a little crooked down there. Got my sister, my brother-in-law, they're helping out, they're trimming out windows. Start moving around the other walls and get the other 62 walls done, or something like that.
So, just like that, just snaps up there. You put her up in there, just got to cut all the angles on it. So I just got this little bit of this peak to do yet here. Should go pretty fast. Just got that one little vent up there, got to go around. My sister and my brother-in-law have been out here working very hard. They have pretty much all the way around, except for the very top piece. We're going to wait and make sure that we have enough. Otherwise, we're going to use like scrap pieces because it's just a little flat piece that has to be cut. So we're going to wait until we get it all done and then come back and do it all. But they got it all done up to here. And I actually had to go to Minnesota for my youngest granddaughter's baptism. Did that over the weekend. Had a busy couple weeks. So, what the last month, getting ready for a wedding, doing all that stuff, doing all the planning for that. And then my granddaughter's baptism was this weekend, so we had to drive the 6 hours and 20 minutes over there and go for that, and then drive way back. My sister and my brother-in-law, they've been out here working, and they got this all done. And that's the only wall that I'm waiting for last here. I'm gonna have to have a couple pieces of J-trim. I'll do what I can today. Places are closed this Memorial Day, and I'll get done what I can, and then I'll go over and grab a couple more pieces of trim I need. But they're working around in the front, getting it all done, working really hard on this. So it's looking really nice. The neighbors are all like, wow, this is different, very different. So I'm just gonna try to get this wall done here tonight, and we're gonna go and have a nice dinner together and see if we can tackle the rest of it tomorrow. Okay guys, taking a little break from the house. I'm actually out here to meet with the surveyors. They have been out here, and trying to put some in my pocket here, my level. They have been out here, and they got the furthest one marked up on the north side of the driveway where the property ends. Then the people that live up there, there's somebody that lives up on that side down the road. Their property actually comes into ours a little bit, and I've seen this with the Onyx app that I've been using out here to kind of get an idea for things. It doesn't come in very far though. I was very surprised, and just comes in a little ways, and then their property goes over this way, and then it goes back that way, and then ours goes out a ways into those woods, and then goes up through those woods. And there's a discrepancy, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for, on the marker that's way out there. The surveyor says that when he goes back and looks, they're in different spots. He's trying to pinpoint and everything to get the legal spot and everything else. And the thing that, it's not really that big a deal. He said it's only like 20 feet difference, but he wants to make sure it's completely right. And we're paying him a lot of money to do this so that we can exactly know where our boundaries are and everything. But the thing is from that point out there, that goes all the way back and back over past those woods, back and deep in there, is the other corner. Well, the plan is to build a house up here, and for the architect and for the building permit and everything, we have to say how many feet it is off the property line. And so he has put stakes all along in that area where we plan on building, so that we can just measure off of it and get a very good drawing and everything. And the problem is with that one being a problem down there, until we get this clarified and everything, he does have the stakes up over here, but if he has to move the one further down there, that will move that line in. It will only be a couple feet, but when you have a building permit, it has to be accurate. So it has to be right, because otherwise you could build a whole building and they'll come out and say, this is not the right location. So you have to make sure that this is all correct and everything. And then his GPS is getting messed up, I guess. He has not gotten the corner up here done, and he did not get the corner down there done. He was supposed to come out this afternoon. I've been out here tinkering around. I haven't seen anybody, so I don't see any new flags and stuff. But I thought, since I'm messing around, I ran over to Marquette, to Menards, and bought the siding for the ferry house, which I'm working on and everything, trying to get that complete. And since I made to run over there, I bought me a bunch of culverts. This right here, I was not going to do this, but the wife wants me to move all the stuff down there, all the semis and all that equipment, not be kind of an eyesore in the driveway when you pull in. So, well, that surveyor might be here. I'm seeing something shiny out on the road, flickering out there, so I'm thinking the vehicle is there. She doesn't want to see that, so what I've done is I'm thinking we put it up over here. And I have made a nice flat area up there where I think it's big enough to park all the stuff in there. Then it's back here and it's out of sight. But you can't get through here. There is a lot of water that comes through here, especially in the springtime. And it all comes out of all of these hills. These are all mountains and hills back in these woods back here. And the valley, it all kind of drains into right here. And it comes out right through here and washes out. Goes all down through here. This is where we plan on digging the pond. Keeps all going, it goes down, and then there's a creek down there that's on our property, and that's where it ends up to, and then it dives into that creek and goes across the highway out there. So I kind of need to make a nice driveway here, and I bought this here culvert as a 20-footer. It's gonna be plenty big enough to drive across and everything. I was kind of astounded that they have this. I saw a car come in, but I don't see him coming up the driveway. I was kind of astounded. I went in there and was pricing out some culverts to get. And this one, I believe, is an 18-inch. I think it's going to be big enough. Basically, just springtime is when the water really flows through here. Yeah, if it rains really good and stuff, it gets wet in this area, but it doesn't hold anything. I saw somebody said in the comments, actually, there was a few people, something about, this is all swampland, that's why nobody wanted it, or something like that. This is not swampland. I don't know where in the world you got that idea from. We've looked at actually a bunch of different properties, and this is dry. You can actually build anywhere in here. The reason why in the past videos you see all kinds of water, well, we had 5-6 feet of snow on here and it all melted pretty quickly. So guess what? Snow melts, it makes water. So yeah, there was a lot of water. But this is a spot, so in the springtime it's going to drain through here and it'll go off towards the pond we're going to build. And I went and looked and I was kind of surprised because this is double wall pipe, and I've looked it up. I'm not a professional at this, and I've looked it up trying to figure out what I needed. And when I saw double wall pipe handles the heaviest loads, plan on driving my semis across here and everything else and parking them up there, so I need something that can handle that, and that's what I'm going to be putting in all the way in the driveway. So I need a double wall pipe, and basically what that is there's an outside to this, the ribs, and then there's an inside part, and that's smooth. And then there's single wall pipe, which is just basically the outside part. There's no smooth stuff inside. It doesn't handle as much weight, and it's not smooth inside, so the water doesn't flow through as good, I guess. They're saying that these will handle more water flow, and it handles more weight. But these are like half the cost. I can't figure out for the life of me why they're single wall pipe. I've looked it up, and everything you look at, everybody's always use double wall in driveways, especially if you got heavier equipment. I cannot figure out why the single wall is more expensive. It's half the material and less process. But it is what it is. But I have it set in here. This is where I want it. It's kind of at a slight angle. I want the water to go and kind of go that way. I'll probably dig a trench. I was thinking I might actually even connect more culverts to it and run it to where the pond is going to be to empty into the pond. Or I might just dig like a little trench, make like a river to it. Not really sure. But I kind of want it to come out this way because the water kind of comes through here and comes right in this way. So I didn't want to make it straight because then it would be angled to where the water flow is. This is a direct flow for the water, and it's plenty wide enough. So I have it all set and everything, and I have it all leveled. This side over here I have higher than that side, so that the water basically will flow this way, but it doesn't flow backwards. So now I'm just gonna dig up some dirt and start piling this thing in there, and I'll probably end up with probably almost 2 feet on top of here. It'll probably be up at this high by the time I get up to that over there, kind of get that level kind of going across here and everything and going up to that hill. That'll fill this in pretty good. And I think they were saying that culverts, you need to have like a foot and a half or something on top of them to make them sturdy. We're going to be about 2 feet. So I'm going to start dumping dirt on here, waiting for the survey guy to see if he shows up. Hopefully he does. Because I kind of took the day off from the ferry house and siding to make sure I was out here because I had a couple questions to ask him. We'll see though. So siding's just about finished, wrapping it all up. And then I got this. Got a big hole under the porch. Figure out something to do with that. We'll see what happens. That looks a lot better. I put it's aluminum soffit and put it all up in there, and it's got that little angle that comes down. The rest of it's all flat and everything, and it's all surrounded with J trim and everything, and it's just really nice. That's gonna make it really nice. I thought about putting a light in there, but never use the front door anyways. But I'll take you guys for a walk around the house and show you the thing. So I'm not finished with it, but all the siding is done. Things I gotta still do is up on the chimney. There's a little spot that has chiseled out. The chimney was in really poor shape, and I saved it by mixing up some mortar and stuff and dyeing it red, and I kind of just encapsulated with it. Water has been leaking into the bricks, and then when it freezes, it's been knocking chunks out. Well, a little corner has come loose, so I got to get up there. I do have the dye yet. Now let's mix up a little mortar and fill that in. Got this all done. Still got to stain the deck, and also got to pour concrete up here. I'm hoping it's not going to rain tomorrow, and I can get on that and get that finished. This house is definitely not straight. There was a lot of shenanigans to go to make things all close. This window is really bad. It's the roof line. It is the best we can get it. The window is square. I either had a choice of putting a window crooked, not square, where it wouldn't open, or put it square and then you get the little gap. I chose the little gap. No big deal. But this is all done. All the siding is done on here. And all the way up to around the vent. The back wall, that's all done and everything. I do have to fix my vent pipe. I broke off from the snow coming down, took it off. Just got to crawl up in there and cut it off and glue a new piece in there. And same thing with the exhaust on the water heater. The pipe is all smashed. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld up some, I don't know, 1/8 inch, maybe 1/4 inch steel or something. Kind of make like a snow blade type thing that mounts on the roof above it. So when the snow comes down, it splits the snow around it so it doesn't take these pipes off anymore. I still got a couple pieces of wood to paint back here. Thinking my brother, I'll miss those. He's been going around painting all the wood stuff for me and everything. He's been really working hard on it. My sister has been really working hard on here too. And this wall was, it was a miracle that this came out. Because you got to remember, this wall here is the wall that's on the other side. And so these laps match up. I actually put a level across there and I marked it down level, marked it level, and I did lines and I measured. And this side over here, I started an 1/8 inch higher, and the other side I started an 1/8 inch lower. And when we got up to the one up on the peak there, the piece, it was perfectly across there. I couldn't believe I got it, but yeah, we just kept putting the level in, all the sheets going across, going all the way up, and trying to pull them same tension, and it worked out perfect. So that door, I got to trim up the wood on the inside door. It's catching, so it won't close all the way. This wall is all done. Looking good. And this wall is all completed. This roof line has like a sag in it. It used to be really bad. And if you guys remember in old videos, I actually had to jack up this whole garage. I had to put concrete piers all underneath 3 or 4 feet down and jack this thing up. And I did it the best I could with my bucket of my tractor and some jacks inside, and tried to gauge it and everything else. And it's just got a little bit of a slight bow in the center. We kind of had to mess around here because the sheets, they came up in a ridge here, one of these little ridges here, was actually going to be right where the finish trim is, and you can't have that because you can't go up in there. So we cut it off a little short, and then I cut just a strip. I think it was like a 2.5 inch piece of flat vinyl, put it up in there and put all my tabs to hold it and everything, and that goes up over the other sheet and holds it. So I had to do that a little bit, and I think it came out very well. There's a couple of spots that I had to finesse to make this happen. And the front is all good. And this side, look, this house looks so much better. It's not even funny. I do have to get up there and paint the wood up around there too. Got to seal all that up and everything. And then, like I said, we're gonna pour a concrete deal coming out here. It's gonna angle over, and then over here it's gonna be wider and then come into it. So it's gonna kind of have some little jogs to it, but it's gonna be a sidewalk and a step over there. I'm hoping to get out here and dig this out tomorrow and get that done, but I think we are expecting rain. So those are only things I have yet to go. So yeah, it's really coming along well. So just those few different things left to go. And the other thing is the shed out here. I actually have some sheet steel because I was going to build another shed over in that corner, and I was going to take this one down, but I am not doing that. And I have some steel that I was going to put on there for a roof and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the steel on this roof, get it all so it doesn't leak anymore. And I bought some paint that matches the vinyl siding here, and I'm going to just paint that shed up and everything and match it. And I think that'd be good. It's a fine shed and everything else works just fine. So there you guys go. Big work on the Ferry house. It's looking awesome. All the neighbors coming by and there's, wow, what a difference. Have a few other little projects I got to do, and I think I'll get those done, show you guys those complete, and I think we'll do a whole walkthrough of the house, interior and exterior and everything. And I'll try to bring up some older pictures and older videos and show before and after a little bit. It's quite the difference. It really is quite the difference. The other thing is too is I'm gonna bring a bunch of dirt into this backyard up here, get it off the land, bring it in here and fill this all in, and then smooth it all out and plant a nice lawn back here too. And that'll take care of this house. This house is complete. So it's pretty awesome. It's awesome feeling to finally get this thing looking really nice and everything. The neighbor's over there and he's actually painting his house. He's been doing that so week, and I went over there today and I says, are you getting jealous? Mine's looking so good. You gotta try to catch up. They start laughing. But all the neighbors are saying, wow, this thing is so different, so nice. And a lot of neighbors are coming by saying, my house is down that way. Go down there. And I'm like, nope, not for hire, not for hire. So yeah, it's feeling really good. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope that everybody out there is having themselves a great day, great night as they watch this here video. And if you're not, you can always try that all over again tomorrow. God bless you guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.